Hey everyone, it's April 25th. This is the latest and greatest. So I went in for a CT scan. So before we get into the CT scan, I wanted to kind of give you a summary of where I'm at. Just got done. About a month ago, I got done with session 14, going into session 15 next Monday. So on Mondays, I get plugged into the chair for about 5.5, 6 hours. And then after the chair, I get to carry this lovely bag, this pump home with me. And I'll probably do another segment on that because it's a royal pain in my butt. But we'll talk about that at a later date. So the chemo that I've been taking lately, I switched at session at chemo session number 9. So before that, up until from 1 through 8, I was on the FOLFOX chemotherapy. It was a full strength chemotherapy. Um, gives me gave me really bad nausea, and one of the scariest side effects that it gave me was neuropathy. So it made my fingers and my toes tingle anytime that they came in contact with cold, or anytime they became cold. So if I walked out on a cold deck, my feet felt like there were needles sticking through them. If I grabbed something out of the refrigerator, my hand felt like it was just a bunch of needles sticking into my hand. If I drank something that had ice in it, my throat would feel like it was really prickly, like needles were sticking in my throat. So they said that is a side effect that unfortunately um, not reversible at some certain point. So they wanted to take me off of that and kind of reserve some of that for long term. So the stuff that they put me on now is kind of a more mellow version of chemotherapy, but it's targeted. So because of the type of tumor that I have and the position of the tumor in my colon, that makes me eligible for this old version of the chemotherapy that happens to really work well against my type of tumor. So it's a little bit old school, but it's proven to be really good for my tumor type. So this doesn't give me neuropathy. This gives me acne. Actually, it does a bunch of different stuff. So chemotherapy's job is to kill fast-growing cells, like cancer, but it doesn't discriminate, and it also kills other fast-growing cells like hair and skin and digestive system and fingernails and toenails and uh, the inner lining of your mouth and all kinds of good fun stuff like that. So, along with the new acne that I have, I also have a breakdown of my skin. My hair is not completely falling out, but it's extremely thin, and my hairline is super light compared to where it was. The um, marks on my skin, any of the marks on my skin have become darker because of the effects of this chemotherapy. My lips are sometimes purple, um, as Daphne can attest to. She asked me during the wedding what's happening with my lips. So there are things that are kind of going on from a side effects point of view that aren't fun, but overall, it's pretty tolerable. I feel a lot better than I did when I first started this, and I'm continuing to feel better as time goes on. So the other thing is that because my cancer is stage 4 and it's made it to my lymph nodes, uh, the lymph nodes that have been affected are there were a couple of them that were in my neck, but most of them were in my pelvic area, and those um, the doctors can't reach through surgery. It's not possible for them to go in and biopsy my lymph nodes at all. But since I did have a couple of my lymph nodes biopsied, we know that it's stage 4 and that has transferred to my lymph node or my lymphatic system. So, because of that fact, um, they can never biopsy my lymph nodes, so they can never consider me cancer free. I'm always going to be a cancer patient for the rest of my life. And that may vary in treatments throughout the years. However, that doesn't, that means I'm going to be on continuous monitoring for the rest of my life. So back to my CT scan. And CT scan, they were very impressed and thought everything was going well. My lymph nodes were going in the right direction, and they were looking forward to the MRI. So I went into Stanford and had an MRI the same day I talked to the surgeon, and so spent a while in the MRI area station office, and then went to talk to the surgeon on the other side of Palo Alto. She was excited about the CT scan results. Looked like everything was going in the right direction. She was saying that she was really excited that maybe this meant that the treatment would kill or reverse the cancer, and or maybe we would have a surgery coming up sometime soon based off of what the MRI said. So what's happened is the MRI came back, and the MRI wasn't as favorable as far as the tumor was concerned. The tumor was still large. It didn't shrink significantly. So the lymph nodes were back to normal size. So what's going to happen is that I will continue to maintain this chemotherapy schedule. I'm gonna actually, I've been off of it for a little bit for a couple of reasons. First of all, I had a vendor visit, and the vendor that came and visited, well, one of them had COVID, so I was off for a week for the visit itself, and then I was off another week because of the potential that I had COVID. I was exposed, but I didn't catch it. I tested negative on all of my tests all the way through. So that kind of derailed me for a little bit, and then I went out to Ohio for Remy and Shelby's wedding. Congratulations, you guys, if you're watching this. If you're not, then I don't blame you. It's pretty depressing. Anyway, congratulations, you guys. It was good to hang out. I'm getting back on this week, going back to get my blood tests and get back on the actual session next week. Sorry, Stelly. So the short term looks like I'm, because of the results of the MRI, I haven't spoke to Stanford. I think I'm going to go back on my chemo and just continue that until the next round of tests come up, and then see where I stand from there. See if the tumor has shrunk enough to for me to be able to tolerate a surgery of the main tumor, or if it's still going to wait a little bit longer, hopefully to get some better results, you know, or better MRI, PET, and CT scan results. Especially when you're looking at the main tumor. So anyway, not the best news. It's still good news. Everything's going in the right direction, but not what we were hoping based off of the CT scan results. So still marching along. Hopefully we'll get back on chemo, start kicking the main tumor's butt, and hopefully the next CT scan or PET scan or MRI will turn out to be better, or come out with better results. What I'm hoping for is that I can get the main tumor removed, so that I can continue doing chemo if I need to, and you know, figure out what the next period of my life looks like, since I'm not going to ever be cancer free. So anyway, we'll figure it out. More to come. Catch y'all later. As the crows go flying by. So I'm moving all of this stuff over to YouTube. I started my YouTube channel, and I'm just going to link everybody there. So you're more than welcome to subscribe if you want. There's going to be more videos coming out. I'm going to put them all on YouTube instead of the G drive like I had originally done. So this will be easier to share, easier to link to, just all the way around. Anyway, catch up with everybody later.